Hello watchers and welcome to Disney Dollhouse issue 19. As you can see, this week and next week I've got my British Jubilee celebration decorations up because we are celebrating the Queen's Platinum Jubilee, which means her reign has lasted 70 years, which is the longest for a British monarch. So those of you who are not in the UK, it's just where we all get together, have street parties. There's various little festivals and garden parties going on just to celebrate, all things British. So lots of tea, lots of crumpets, lots of scones and little tea cakes like Battenberg and stuff like that. And then obviously a lot of bunting as well. So we just like to celebrate it. So yeah, let's get on with this week's issue. So in this issue, we've got some new wall paneling pieces and a new table and some more carving pieces for, I think it might be Alice's, or it could be the Frozen one, we don't know. We shall see. But we're also going to need all the wall pieces and floor pieces that we've already got, because I think we'll all be gluing them together in this issue. So, our instructions of how to put the table together, and yes, putting all the walls, gluing all the walls together, and then the floors. So it looks like we won't be using the wall pieces and carving piece that we get in this issue, so keep those handy for probably the next issue. Then we've got Welcome to Arndale Castle and the Magic of Disney. So that's discussing the actual architecture of Arndale Castle, which is very Nordic in stylistic way, but it's also quite unique because it also looks quite medieval as well, a bit like the sort of British and German castles a bit in French, but of course the pyramid styles are very much the Norwegian style of churches and things that they've had. And then the Timeless Classics is up from 2009. It took me a long time to watch this movie because I was like, do I really want to watch it? I don't really want to watch it. But then when I watched it, I was like, oh my god, can't believe it took me so long to watch it. It's absolutely adorable movie and a great message in the movie as well. And then just a blurb, of course, and then what's coming up in issue 20, which is another wall piece. Is it another wall piece? 8, 9, and build walls 8, 9, and 10. So we're getting some of the bay window as well, which is this one here. And then we're getting some accessories for Peter Pan as well. So yeah. So, because I'm a subscriber, I also got some accessory pieces as part of the subscription. And the first one is the bucket with an actual working handle from The Sorcerer's Apprentice. But not only the bucket, you got the broom that stands up all by himself. That is really nicely done. Really like that. That's quite cute. Then we've got some photo frames. Thinking these are for the Aristocats because they're quite French themed, and as well as cat themed. But these are really nicely decorated. Then we've got a oval one with a kitty cat in there. And then we've got this beautiful clock, which I believe is Cinderella's room. It's even got little stands. It's not just a flat base, so it stands up really nicely. But even the back of it is decorated, so they really thought these things through. That's another nice little piece. And then of course we've got a sombrero hat for Donald's room, which again is really nicely done and really nicely painted on this one as well, which is great. So we'll just put them towards the back. So that's an accessories pack that you get as part of being a subscriber. But in this issue, we got a plant pot with plants in it for the frozen hallway, which is really nicely done, and it stands up all by itself. Oh, when he's not drunk. But yeah, it does stand up by itself. So we've got those today as well. And then we've got our bits to make a table. And then we also got a wall piece with some wallpaper for Alice in Wonderland's room. But interestingly enough, this flower is actually in the style of Charles Rennie Mackintosh, famous architect, Glaswegian architect, who very much did Art Nouveau sort of styling. So it's a nice little thing with that. But then I've just noticed on the edge of the tiles, it's actually all the card symbols of club, heart, spade, diamond. Then of course the red rose, and then even the motif on the wallpaper is teacups and teas and some more roses. So that's really nicely decorated. I love all these little subtle things that are in this magazine. So yeah, on this side there's no like notch for the for paneling, because with it being a kitchen, I think it's just going to be this printed tile. But then on the back we've got a vertical thing for electric wires at a later date. And then we've got a white piece of coving, which to me looks like the frozen hallway, but in the magazine it says Alice's kitchen, so we don't know. But we're not using those in this issue. They're going to one side. But first up, let's sort out this little table. I'm going to use all-purpose glue, but we only need tiny bits of this stuff. You can never just take a tiny bit out of this glue. You may have noticed as well, I've got all my little Jubilee decoration pieces, because this week and next week is basically just continual celebrations for the Queen for her official birthday, as well as her 70 years reign that she's had on the throne. So she has 2 birthdays, does our Queen. Back to the table. Ooh, that's an idea. I could actually make some little decorations for the doll's house for the Jubilee, maybe. I'll think about it at a later date. I know I'm very busy at the moment, so it might be too short on time for that. But with this, they want you to put a little bit of glue on each one of these bits that's sticking up. And then we just literally stick that into place and sandwich it together. There we go. Yeah, a bit of glue off there. Da, da, da. And then again, we just want to put a bit of glue in the holes here, and then we're just going to stick the legs into place. Right. And these should just fit nice and snugly. Yeah. There we go. Just get rid of that little bit of glue there, I can see. That's the other thing with this glue. As long as there's no paper involved, it actually peels off really easily, even when it's dry. So I don't get too concerned with this glue, because I know it just easily peels away. But yep, that's our lovely little table. Ta-da! That is really nice, that. Lovely jubbly. So let's just pop him over that while we do the next bits. So we'll be needing our walls from previous issues. So let's start with this vertical wall. If you remember last issue, I tore some of the wallpaper in the corner, so I've fixed a little bit on there, which you can see. But when it's actually in place, I don't think you'll be able to see, as well as on this side as well. But at the moment I've got the light on it so you can see it perfectly where I've cut it, but hopefully once it's all together it'll be fine. Now what they're asking you to do in the magazine is sort of lean it into position rather than slot it into place like I was doing, hence I ripped my wallpaper. So let's follow what it says in the magazine for once. I'm just trying to see where they want us to place the glue. And we'll be using wood glue for these pieces. The glue to be along the bottom on these long bits. So not the little bits, these bits. Let's go ahead and do that. Again, I don't like to put too much on because I already know when it's all slotted together anyway, it's quite rigid and stiff anyway. And I just don't want glue to be splotching up everywhere. Once we've got the glue on, obviously turn it to Mickey's way. And then we line it up with the holes first, apparently. Yeah, those holes. And then it should just slot into place along the sides. Making sure you press down and also press it together along here as well. So we've got that vertical wall. Now it's telling me to put the vertical wall, this wall, in first before you put the floors in. So let's try doing it their way. Let's try. Personally, I would have put the floor in first and then put the walls in, but let's just see how this goes. So I'm going to put some glue on these pieces. I'm going to knock all my accessories out of the way on these pieces here. And then it wants going that way. Okay, so that's pushed into place. Hopefully there's not too much glue anywhere. No, there isn't. That's fine. So then next we need our wall plate, which is just a plain MDF piece. And it wants us to glue practically everywhere where Mickey's wall joins. Let's move things out of the way. Things are getting bigger, bigger. So it'll go this way up with the staircase running along this back wall, and then this is the bit adjoining bit for Mickey's, and they want us to glue those bits. So we're just going to go along the sides here. And then they want us to lift up the pieces and then slot it into place. So there we go. That's all slotted into place. Just making sure everything's snug against all the joints and there's no bits of glue everywhere. So yep, happy with that. And then the last thing they want us to do this issue is to glue this flooring down into place. So let's get some glue on the back of hair. And of course you want to put as much glue as you can on hair, because you don't want it to bow or warp with any sort of heat like what we just normally have in our houses. But at the same time, you don't want too much for it to squish everywhere. Make sure it's in position. Oh, no, according to this, it needs to make sure that it is flush in this corner. So the flooring needs to meet this wall. And there we have it for this week. Yeah, so we still have these pieces from this issue for next week, so keep them somewhere safe. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. I hope you found this useful. Please let me know in the comments below if you've got any problems or issues with yours, or if you're just enjoying seeing how this is progressing. Always happy to hear from you guys. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. Bye for now.